Nobody taught us about training career, but we are teaching everything about it. Nobody taught me, but we had to go and begin. So somewhere from the road, how you can go and begin is very important, because the leader doesn't come from the best of the business house or the learning house. The leader comes from the roads always. Leadership begins with nothing in your hand. The only thing that you have, management begins with all the resources, because it's optimizing the resources. It's called management. But leadership does not have any resources. Leadership has only beliefs. If you have the belief and if you have the vision, you are going to be a leader. So when I came into this industry, I had so much of challenging moments to begin a batch. Finally, I started a batch. Unfortunately, it so happened on the very first day of the batch, I got a heart attack and my batch came to an end. So I couldn't conduct my program. So I did not know what to do. I had somebody to work for me. They can do sales, but how can I do training? Should I give it up now? My whole family, everybody were against. Why are you doing training? Why can't you go and find a job? That is the best thing that you can do for yourself and for us. We don't want you to do training. I was put up in that corner. So who was the helping hand for me at that time to start seeing? Without this person, this organization would have never come up. So when I look at the route, I know Manoj came as a route. In last wisdom class, Priya came as the route. Of before that, because of Priya, the IATD happened. Because of Manoj, the IATD happened. But because of this one person, the whole zeal happened. Without this person, it would not have happened. And when we scale new heights, very important, we should remember the roots. That's the biggest value we need to carry. We cannot grow without having the roots connected to us. And, I knew him as a sales trainer. And he was a part of Milk, who Aparesh Acharya would himself recognize him as the world's best trainer. Next to me is this guy only, Daniel Jacob. So I knew this when I wanted to start, but I was not very much close to him. I knew he was there. I remember one day Aparesh Acharya, I told him, sir, Aparesh, I want to talk to you about my new venture. I'm going to start in training. So Aparesh always tells, these demands are clear. If you want to talk to me, you should take me to a five-star rest hotel and we will have a drink. You should pay for all that. Then only I will talk to you. So I gave him the choice. You decide which one you want. So he took me to Chola and we were sitting in the bar. And as soon as he sat in the bar, he said, Rajan, my choice is always the best only. I don't take the rest. And what would you like to have? I did not know what to say. I was just sitting quiet. I said, Aparesh, whatever you want, we can have. So, Aparesh, Jack Daniels. Do you know Jack Daniels? I did not know Jack Daniels. So I said, yeah, I know Daniel Jacob very well, Aparesh. He looked at me and said, I'm not talking about Daniel Jacob, my dear. I'm talking about Jack Daniels. Do you know? I did not know Jack Daniels. I know only Daniel Jacob. Uh, Daniel Jacob. Then he introduced me to the new scotch. And he said, when you taste with me something, the rest of your life, you should never come down. If you can afford, you have. Otherwise, keep quiet. So this is the level you should keep your life with. And that's how he introduced me. Then he blessed me to go and start training. So I did not know Jack Daniel, but after that, Daniel Jacob became very close to me, definitely. And it was Danny. We call him Danny. Okay, so let me call him as Danny. He was the person who I went to his house for the first time. I was a patient. I was very sick, but I wanted a help. I remember I went to his house, sat with him and said, Danny, I worked so hard. I started a batch, but I got this heart attack. Now I'm labeled as a heart patient. I'm sitting at home. My family is against, everybody is against, but somehow this thing must go on. I do not know anybody, but I know Aparesh has told you, you are the trainer. So can you come and take my classes on my behalf? Why should a trainer accept? And not big money. I paid him for it, but not a big thing at all. Whatever I could, I did. Then he said, Rajan, don't worry. You want me to take the class? I will take the class. and he came and started Zeal, not me. I only formed the batch, but everything was conducted by him. And at the end of the first batch was over, when I joined MILT, I never attended an introductory class. I just joined MILT in a different way without even knowing who was Aparesh. But on that first day, first graduation, I remember Danny was there, and after the graduation certification was done, Danny said there will be some 150 people, all the guests, everybody has come. He said, Rajan, we should sell the next batch today. I said, how? He said, give it to me. I will conduct an introductory seminar for all of them. They will join. And then I did not know what was an introductory seminar. At that time, I said, okay, you conduct. And then he conducted an introductory seminar on that day. First time I was saying how to sell a training program from stage from him. And thank God there was a video camera man who was shooting the whole event, and the video was with me. And at the end of the day, a lot of people joined again. Then I discovered what a wonderful way. I did not know this. I was going to road in every house and knocking the doors and making people join my course. This is the way to sell a course. And I learned that from Danny. And I watched that video of his hundreds of times. And I mastered to conduct an introductory seminar only from Danny. Today, I can say maybe I am the one who has conducted maximum number of introductory seminars in this country. Thousands and thousands of times I did, and every time I did, the impact was, I could create that impact, form my batches and run it, but the root is only this person. Because of him, I could do this. And he's always been there. Anytime when I did something, I've always consulted, talked to him, and kept him informed. And when it reached the 99th wisdom class, I really thought who would be the correct person to come and address. I know, like Manoj means a lot of you know. Priya means most of you know. But this person, not many of you know. But he's a wonderful person by heart. Very simple, very spiritual person, and excellent orator. As a trainer, par excellence. He is the shadow of Aparesh Acharya today. Aparesh is not there, but Danny is there. He runs all the training programs of Milk Foundation today. And I'm so happy to have Danny today with us to address this. And ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, let us put our hands and welcome the one and only Daniel Jacob. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Rajan. Thanks for those lovely words. You brought in goosebumps to me. Okay, flashback. I went back to those days. It is amazing. Okay, you
Not just
brought.
one batch. Danny did the first 10 batches of Zeal was done by Danny. Different cities. Every new city, only he would go and begin Zeal class. I will go only for the second batch, whether it was Coimbatore or Trichy or Salem, everywhere Danny only started. Yes, Danny, sorry.
Right. Thank you so much, Rajan. I mean, you really are bringing a lot of emotions in me because 30 odd years to go back to see what we discussed, and today you sustained it and you made it something great. I'm really glad that my friends are doing well. Okay, either you are a light or you are a mirror that reflects the light. So either you are a person who's going up, or either you're a person who's lifting people up. So therefore, I'm so glad many of my friends are doing well, because your greatness is not about you being great. Your greatness is about how people are, is very important. So Rajan, you're one of my best friends, and you called me my best friend. I was very happy about that. And I think, as you rightly started, scaling new heights, you might go to great heights, but what is important is our connects, remembering our connects, and an attitude of gratitude. I've seen a lot of people do very well in life. And one thing, if I find why they're doing well in life, is because they have an attitude of gratitude. Never forget what people have done to you. You might scale great heights, but look back and thank all those people who have complemented your growth. And Rajan has come into this 99th session, and close to 3 decades has passed, but he always looks back and thanks people. I think that's a great quality. So, therefore, whatever height we might do, let's not our head become heavy, but let our hearts be there. So an attitude of gratitude is very, very important. I distinctly remember the time I met Rajan, and he told me about his plan. He was working in orchards, Maxwell Orchards, and I was with Operation conducting a sales course, and everybody there would talk about Rajan. Rajan as a manager. Okay, as much as Rajan wanted to talk to me, I wanted to talk to Rajan. Okay, because everybody is saying Rajan, Rajan, Rajan. And then I said, okay, it so happened that Rajan started this event, and I should be really grateful to Rajan for giving me this opportunity. Simple. You might be the best of trainer, but you need to have people, you need to have opportunity. So I should sincerely thank Rajan for this opportunity because I was full life. I had lots of myself with me 30 years back. And when Rajan came and told me this, because even earlier when he was about to start, Rajan told me about his plan to get into training. I said, okay. And then when he gave this opportunity, I did. I remember those wonderful moments in Madurai. Okay. And thereafter, Rajan was so much wanting to scale heights. He also pushed me. He said, Danny, why not we scale heights? And then from Madurai, we went to Trichy. So we used to do two batches, Madurai on Monday, Trichy on Tuesday, and like that. And so Trichy started. I remember the Ashby Hotel. Okay, Rajan always has got a flirt to pick up some good hotels. Simple hotel. Okay, very traditional. I remember those wonderful moments. Then after that, we started in Coimbatore because he wanted to scale heights. Okay, so the thought was there right from the word go. He wanted to scale heights, and we started in Coimbatore. I was very happy. I used to stay in that Murugan Lodge and do a program. Amazing times. And thereafter, he wanted to scale great heights. He said Salem. Okay, so we used to do Salem like that. And today, I'm so glad to have been associated with Rajan. As I told you, whatever wealth you might have, net asset value is what we are all looking at. But what is very important is net relationship value. You might lose everything in life possible. All our name, fame, our wealth, everything would be gone. But what would always stay is the relationship. Rajan would vouch for this. The reason is how you relate, how you connect with people. Keeping the net relationship value is more important than net asset value. Rajan spoke about Aparesh Acharya. Aparesh Acharya made his money. He was a Dale Carnegie trainer. He was earning in dollars. He could have stayed there, but he came to India. Then he saw his name, all the press reports he had. He burnt them all because he said I was getting ego. And then he started to train people. And me and Rajan were very lucky. I was even more lucky because in 1988, I was a shy, timid, and an introverted person who couldn't even talk to a small group of people. But I did his program and I got myself motivated. I got the champion in me imploding it within me, and I could really make a big lot of difference. So therefore, Aparesh Acharya trained people. Rajan was one of them who came in later. And he has contributed in our lives. What has Aparesh Acharya taken? What is given is what is very important than what he has taken. So he has trained a lot of people relentlessly, single-handedly, individually. He'll go to Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Kolkata. He would travel. There was no phones at the time, no frequent aircrafts at the time, but he was always there training people, giving his best. Aparesh also had his attack when he was conducting the program. Aparesh would always say, I will die with my boots on. And he always says, whenever he is in time, he would challenge. Because me and Rajan, he started the session at 8 o'clock, and I was there at 8 o'clock. And by God's grace, till date, 30 plus years, I've never missed a session. I'm not trying to boast, my dear friends. It's an influence that I've been from Aparesh Acharya. My brother died on Thursday in an accident in 2020. And then Saturday, I had a session, an online session, COVID times. I did that session. I didn't tell the participants my brother died. Just 2 days back, at the age of 61, he dies in an accident. And I did the batch full of emotions. The reason is Aparesh Acharya was that factor. Because my tragedy should not be others' tragedy. And similarly, just in 2022, my mother died. You know, this corona and all that, the fear psychoses were there. 2020, my mother died. Just about 6 months later, my mother died. Now, when she died on Saturday early morning, and Saturday afternoon, I had a session, online session. I was in a dilemma whether to what to do to cancel the session. By God's grace, I've never canceled a session. So I told one of my coordinators, Milton and Mohan, I said, Mohan, don't tell anybody. I'll come to the session, I'll conduct the session, and I'll attend my mother's funeral. So, friends, I'm not telling you all this to boast myself, okay? Just to tell you how much of values that has gone into us, has been ingrained into us. So, therefore, I finished the session from 1:30 to 2:30 to 3:30 and went and attended my mother's funeral, which was just about a kilometer away. And I had to give testimony there about my mother. So all this values is what is very important that Aparesh Acharya gave us. That means he built leaders. And today, me, Rajan, and few other people are always there going about carrying this, we can't say business, this game of empowerment. Aparesh always said, I'm playing a game of empowerment. So therefore, we are ever grateful to Aparesh Acharya. I can never forget this man. Many people tell me, Danny, you start promoting yourself and not Aparesh Acharya. Okay, whenever he was alive, I was talking so much about him. They said, you start promoting yourself, Danny, and not Aparesh Acharya. But my heart is always for him. And I was there in his last moments. I was there in his final rituals, but this man made a difference. So here, Aparesh Acharya was ever grateful to his mentors, Dorothy Carnegie, then McGrath, in the name of his founder, in the name of his mentor, Ron McGrath. Aparesh started MILT training program. MILT, M stands for McGrath Institute for Leadership Training. Thereafter, he concised it and made it only as MILT. And then what Aparesh did is that he started Snehalia in 1988, a home for destitute children. And he said, our homes will not be called as orphanage. Our children will not be called as orphans. Because why are we taking a higher stand to say they are orphans and orphanage? We are all getting an opportunity to serve. And today, those kids, 30 plus years since Snehalia started, and many of them are really doing exceptionally well. In fact, they were given a middle income lifestyle. Nothing old was ever given to them. And today there are lots of Snehalia boys doing exceptionally well. Today, Aparesh always says, training will die with me, but my social projects will continue. But he said, if somebody wants to take up training and continue, let it be so. And he said, Danny is sort of qualified, trained by me, and he'll be conducting it. So therefore, as a tribute to our mentor, as an attitude of gratitude, we always remember. I was just thinking whether Rajan will start the session with a prayer, and he did so. Because let's at every point in time, look back and thank people. Not only look back, it is said an attitude of gratitude is every moment. When I got up in time, connected, an attitude of gratitude. When the session is happening, an attitude of gratitude. So when this attitude of gratitude is within us, it purifies our emotion and it expands our thoughts and gives us a clarity to work. So therefore, a very important element that we all need to keep in mind as we scale great heights is an attitude of gratitude. Well, 99 session should be nervous 90s for Rajan. Okay. In cricket, they say nervous 90s. Okay. And you know, there's a batsman who always got out in the 90s who never scored a century for India. Test cricket, anybody can take a guess?
Chetan Chauhan.
Okay, Chetan Chauhan. A great batsman, opened with the legendary Sunil Gavaskar, but he never made a century at all. He's great, but there are people who made centuries. So therefore, nervous 90s and good. It's always good to be nervous. That means you're alert. When you become too very confident, it gets into you. So that's why we say a bit of nervousness is good. That means it's keeping you under control. You want to do your best. Daniel Jacob might have been 33 decades, but for me, this session is a first session. There might be that little much of nerves, but good, because it doesn't put arrogance into me, but a humility that I need to start. A batsman might be great, but he always starts with zero. A first ball is very important for me in spite of his 10,000 runs. The first ball, how is he going to face and how is he going to play? Those first few moments is very important. That will decide his career. So therefore, let's keep all this in mind. And I'm glad that Rajan has come to 99 sessions and giving me this opportunity. And next week is going to score a century. So can you all anticipate and celebrate for Rajan? Okay. Because friends, it's very easy to start off anything, but to sustain it is what is important. That's why they say consistency is a hallmark of a professional. Anybody can do an occasional act of greatness, but truly great are those who can consistently perform acts of greatness. So therefore, when I look back and Rajan says, Danny, for my session, 150 people odd or 200 people come, I felt very, very happy for him. So therefore, if Rajan is successful, who is responsible for that success? Can you tell me that?
Always these people only.
Yes, people. What is Rajan without y'all? What is Danny without people joining my course? You might be the best, you must be the greater, but very importantly, the people. So I would like to really appreciate each one of you, 155 people, for being part of this sessions throughout. Can we give everybody a big round of applause? Come on, everybody. The greatness is not the speaker. The greatness is people who want to lap it up. Talking is fine, but listening is a very important skill. Talking is fine, but paying attention is a very, very important skill. So therefore, you people are right now listening, and I know we are all leaders in our own field of activity. So therefore, you all made it possible. And even this meeting for me, if it is to be good, this 155 people is very important. It's not Daniel Jacob, who probably slipped into training, who benefited from training, who earned from training, who impacted himself, because the person who gets the best in a training event is who? Who's the one who's the maximum beneficiary in a training program?
The trainer himself.
Trainer. And it's a beauty, he's getting paid for it. How do you like that? Okay. Okay, you get the maximum benefit and people pay you for it. Okay. So every time I'm very, very grateful to people who join my course. I might be tough as a trainer, but the toughness is only to shake up the attitudes of people. Aparesh Acharya was a very, very tough man. When I look back, it's a love-hate relationship with him. But I look back and say, man, we needed somebody to kick our butts. And Aparesh Acharya was that. Okay. I remember a speaker was giving a talk on motivation many years back. He said a lot of things and he gave an acronym called the KETA method of motivation. KETA. Like we all love to hear abbreviation. That speaker was giving three things on motivation. Then he said there's a KETA method of motivation, KITA. I was getting into training at the time, so I immediately took out my book and to write down what is the expression of KETA, right, Akhil? KETA, KITA. I wanted to write down what is KETA. I'm getting some good inputs for my training because trainers take care, absorb it, and then give it and make money, okay? So therefore, I wanted to get what is this KETA. Then after he explained it, I never needed to write it. He said, kick in the ass. Okay. Keep has kick in the ass motivation. Today I don't have to write it anywhere because it's gone in. So therefore, the vehicle needs a kickstart. The birds need a push, and we all need a kita at some point in time. But let not that kita be from an outside force. Let the kita come from within. Let there be a kick within so that we can scale great heights.